Pleasant good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Downers Grove North High School. We're getting ready for the Class 7A state semifinals between the undefeated 12-0 Normal Community Ironmen, the #1 seed in Class 7A, the number 13 seed 10-2 Downers Grove North Trojans. Hello, everybody. Joel Swanson here with you, along with Zach Knox Doyle. Mr. Brad Bovenkirk is running everything behind the scenes from us. Hey, we're audio only today here, so no video for you, but we'll be bringing you all the action here from Karstens Field in Downers Grove. The Normal Community Ironmen come in undefeated on the 2023 season. They are one step away from heading back home and playing in Hancock Stadium on Thanksgiving weekend for the 7A title. But the path here is tough. Downers Grove is an awfully good football team, and 10-2, don't be deceived by their record. Zach will be breaking down the Trojans here in just a moment. Normal Community was able to pick up a come-from-behind victory against Glenbard East last week. We've seen the Ironmen win an overtime game here in the playoffs, but maybe their toughest opponent ahead here this afternoon. A 2 o'clock kick from Karstens Field, so stick with us here on the Inkspot. Well, Zach, 10-2, Downers Grove, a little bit of a deceiving record. Obviously, the Ironmen come in 12-0. Talk about the Trojans a little bit and what they bring to the table here this afternoon.
So like you said, they've had 2 losses, but those 2 losses were to 2 teams that have made it to the 8A playoffs. One is York, who is a semifinalist in the 8A playoffs as we speak, and the other was the LaGrange Lions, who have lost by 3 to York in the second round of the 8A playoffs. This is only their 5th game at home, which is a little bit different than what we've seen from other teams. They haven't made the semifinals since 2004, which is when they won the 7A championship. They have an average game score of 31-12, and in the playoffs they brought it up a little bit with an average game score of 33-13. They cruised through the first round of the playoffs in a 29-point win against Chicago Kenwood and a 24-21 upset over number 4 Hersey. But now looking back at those 2 losses, not really sure if that one's an upset. Then they had a 34-6 win last round over the number 12 New Lenox Lincoln Way West. They stopped Lincoln Way West star running back Joey Campagna for no scores after he had 291 yards and 5 touchdowns in the second round. Also, some headlines. So they have a sophomore quarterback in Owen Lansu. Last week threw for 259 yards, 4 touchdowns. One of those touchdowns he threw went to his junior wide receiver, Charlie Cruz, who had 7 catches for 109 yards to go along with that touchdown. They also have a senior running back in Noah Battle, who ran for nearly 200 yards on 17 carries, along with a 53-yard touchdown. And then you can't forget about the 3-star Iowa State commit, Kale Brazina, who is a tight end. He is also on the defensive line and had over 11 sacks last season.
All right, talk about Downers Grove North, and one of the things offensively, Zach, is they're going to present a lot of balance. They can throw the football, they can run the football, so the Ironmen are going to have to be able to stop both sides of the coin here this afternoon. That's going to be a challenge.
Yeah, the team actually reminds me a lot of the Ironmen, as throughout the season the Ironmen have had Tommy Davis obviously is always able to get a couple touchdowns if you need him, and then you also have Marquand Gary and Kyle Beatty. So just being able to have a great passing game and running game reminds me of Community as well, and they also have had really good defense, holding their opponents to less than 2 touchdowns a game.
And they seem, coming out of that West Suburban Silver, they seem to be kind of rounding into form, playing their best football this time of year, and it helps playing really good teams in your conference or in the regular season to prepare you for a playoff run.
Yeah, and they're on 5 straight wins right now, which obviously isn't just the playoffs, the last 2 weeks of the regular season as well. So I just think this team has really gotten rocking and rolling, and it's kind of different because Community, they started off 9-0, didn't have a game closer than 20 in the regular season.
The second round, this is a really well-rounded conference here. Downers Grove North, not only did they play a really good conference schedule, but also their first game of the year was against Wheaton St. Francis. They were able to beat Wheaton St. Francis 27-22 was the final score in that contest. Wheaton St. Francis will play in the 5A semifinals this afternoon, so it was an outstanding schedule for the Trojans. On the other side, Zach, for Normal Community, undefeated on the 2023 season, and we've seen the Ironmen survive some scares here in the playoffs. The biggest one, the overtime win against Bradley Bourbonnais. Then last week, down by a couple touchdowns at half, came roaring back to knock off Glenbard East.
Yeah, and you speak on those scares. So last week, they were down 28-14 at halftime to Glenbard East, and they just really turned it around that second half, outscoring them 31-0. They were led by Tommy Davis, who had 3 touchdowns, 106 mark, And Community hasn't made it to the semifinals since 2007 with Hud Venerable when they made it 3 straight years. This is Dringwich's 6th season, and it's the first season past the 2nd round, and obviously now we're in the 4th round. We talked to Dringwitz, and he said his keys to victory were great practice, play as a family, run the ball effectively, get the playmakers the ball in space, and then 2 things they did last week, he also said they have to keep doing: handle adversity as they came back from down 2 touchdowns, and handle effects of the road. And here we are on the road.
Yeah, here we are, and this will be the largest crowd that Normal Community has played on the road, obviously. If you could kind of set the scene here at Downers Grove North High School this afternoon, we're on the visitor side. There is not a seat to be had. Normal Community has really shown out well, but on the other side as well, Downers Grove North has. If you look at the home side, it is completely full. Just a space for the Trojan marching band. That is it. You can hear the normal crowd, community crowd behind us. They are ready to roll, but it is going to be a tough venue here at Downers Grove this afternoon. We are right in the middle of the Normal Community cheering section, and they will be making some noise all afternoon long. We've got about 4 minutes here till we're getting ready to kick off from Karstens Field. Normal Community and Downers Grove North getting ready to kick things off in the semifinals. Well, kind of taking a look a little bit at Community's road here so far. Had an easy win over Summit Argo in round 1. Much tougher overtime victory over Bradley Bourbonnais in round 2. Knocked out Glenbard East last week with a terrific second half. And Zach, that 31-point second half for Normal Community might have been the best football the Ironmen have played all year, as they were able to blitz right by the Rams into the semifinal round.
Yeah, and I think it was big thanks to that run game along with the defense. And when we look at that run game, that is one thing that Downers Grove has done a really good job of stopping, like they did last week, holding New Lenox, star running back, to 0 touchdowns after he had 5 the week before. So I think Community really has to look out for their other options like Marquand Gary, Ivo Austin at wide receiver, tight end, even Dexter Niekamp for passing and running the ball.
Yeah, that balance is going to be really a key. And Zach, one of the things that Normal Community actually struggled with against Bradley Bourbonnais was being able to run the football. The passing game was connecting in the first half, slowed down in the second half, but the run game is going to be an absolute here for the Ironmen this afternoon. They're going to have to get some yardage going on the ground. They're going to have to create some holes up front. That's going to be a real key for Normal Community.
Yeah, and although they did struggle with the run game, the last touchdown that ended up putting them up 31-24 was a Tommy Davis, I think about 3-yard rush. And then it was that defense that really took it for him, as Bradley came on the other side, got a touchdown, but Community's defense stopped the 2-point conversion. Anton Cassell was on the coverage there. So I think defense has been key in this playoffs, as the Ironmen have only given up 58 points in the playoffs with an average score of 40-19.
We're getting ready here for the national anthem, so we'll be back with you here in just a few moments, getting ready to kick off between Normal Community and Downers Grove North. Our national anthem here at Karstens Field at the campus of Downers Grove North High School, played by the Downers Grove North Band. Normal Community one step away from Hancock Stadium. They're going to try to get it done here this afternoon in the Class 7A semifinals. Listening right now to the Downers Grove North fight song. Big crowd across the way representing the Trojans, but a great turnout for Normal Community as well here on the visitor side. And Zach, right now there is not a seat to be had out here. It's going to be a beautiful day, and it should be an outstanding football game.
Yeah, it's packed on both sides, and in the regular season we saw a lot of smaller teams as Community didn't play any 7A teams in the regular season, and it was just kind of cool seeing in the pregame that the Downers Grove team filled up the whole width of the field.
Yeah, they certainly did. And Downers Grove North does have a good tradition in football. You mentioned the 2004 state championship. That was actually an 8A state championship that was won by Downers Grove North. Between 1997 and 2006, the Trojans made 10 straight playoff appearances. 3 times they were in the semifinals. So really some of the peak years for Normal Community were also the peak years for Downers Grove North as well. They have battled their way back here now, getting to the semifinals. Their head coach is Joe Harini. He's in his 6th year, 33-23, third playoff appearance for him as the head coach at Downers Grove North. 2nd straight, took over for 2 very successful coaches. John Wander was the state championship coach in 2004, and Pete Ventrelli is a legend of a coach here in the suburban area. Ventrelli coached the team in the 80s and into the 90s. The Ironmen would like to move the ball like they did in the second half against Glenbard East last week.
Yeah, they got off to a hot start against Glenbard East, going up 14-0, but then Glenbard East scored 4 straight touchdowns, going 28-14. Community came back.
Well, here's the kickoff now. It's going to be taken by the Ironmen inside the 5-yard line, up to the 20, and he'll be tackled right there. Bear with us a little bit. Our vantage point is not great to be able to pick up numbers. We'll do the best we can. So 1st and 10 now for Normal Community. The ball sitting right on the 20-yard line. So that's where Tommy Davis was taken down right there. For the Ironmen, they're going to have to be able to run the football. We'll see if they're going to be able to get that done here to start the contest.
Yeah, that was something they did really well last week, as Tommy Davis had over 160 rushing yards.
Kyle Beatty now takes the snap. It's going to be Tommy Davis off the right side. Tommy turns the corner. Looks like out about the 28-yard line or so. Nice job there on the right side of the offense.
1 against Bradley, so really 7 in the first round and last round.
2nd down and 2 now for Normal Community. Kyle Beatty now back to pass. Looking downfield. He'll be hit as he threw the football that time and hit on Beatty. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 2 here now for Normal Community. And Zach, it didn't look like Kyle had a whole lot of time to be able to throw the football as heavy pressure coming from the Trojans.
Yeah, he had 2 guys off the defensive line that were just coming at him right away. He had maybe a couple seconds, probably just 2 seconds to do anything.
Play comes in from the sideline now. Normal Community now with a 3rd down. Play power football, and Davis does get it. Actually, it's a keeper by Kyle Beatty. Beatty is over midfield. Great job by Kyle Beatty. Downers Grove North was all over Tommy, but boy, Kyle able to sneak out for a 1st down.
Yeah, that was an excellent fake. I was actually looking at Tommy, and I thought that we had lost a couple yards because there was about 5 Downers Grove players on Tommy trying to take him down, and then Kyle just went off for a 20-yard gain.
Yeah, Kyle got all the way out to the 49-yard line, gain of 21 there. Community, clock at 11.5 to go first quarter. Ball goes out now to Marquand Gary. Gary has the catch. He'll be brought down right at the 50-yard line. That ball sailed a little bit on Kyle. That's the kind of play where it's going to be hard for those wide receivers to hold those blocks. That pass has to be right on the money for Marquand to be able to make a play.
That's a play that Kyle Beatty and Marquand have kind of gone to all season, the bread and butter, as it's a pass that doesn't really gain any yardage, but then just give it to Mark, Coach Dringwitz said they needed to do.
2nd and 9 now. Beatty now back to pass. Has some time over the middle. He's got his man. That's Caden Hardiman. Hardiman makes a move, and he's going to be tackled right around the 43-yard line. I will call more like the 42 that time.
Their season still hasn't had one in the playoffs, but with Downers Grove probably trying to hone in on Marquand and Tommy in the run game, I wouldn't be surprised if they go to Caden Hardiman a little bit more. He's had games where he had nearly 100 yards this season.
Yeah, Marquand and Tommy have really been the heavy hitters offensively for Normal Community so far in the playoffs. 3rd down and 2. Beatty waits the snap. He'll hand it off to Davis. Davis off the left side. He got close to the 1st down. He might just be a little bit short We'll see where they're going to spot it. I think Tommy got right to the marker that time, Zach, and I think it is going to be a first down here. They are going to move.
And the passing game.
Yeah, if you can keep this Downers Grove North offense off the field, that'll be a real key for Normal Community. Lincoln Way West was able to drive into the red zone a few times last week, but had a hard time putting points on the board. Davis off the right side, the 30-yard line, and he'll be pulled out, or actually knocked out of bounds that time. Davis is going to pick up a gain of about 15 yards on the play. We'll call it 14 that time for Tommy Davis off the right side.
Yeah, you spoke on the run game and how Downers Grove has done a great job of stopping it. Last week they did give up about almost 200 rushing yards, but no touchdowns and just 2 field goals.
Yeah, we were able to hold Lincoln Way West once they got in the red zone. 9:40 to go first quarter. No score between the Trojans and the Ironmen. 7A pass. Looking corner of the end zone. It's Ivo Austin. He fell down that time, but no chance to be able to catch that one. That was well covered right there by Downers Grove North, as again, Beatty got some pretty heavy pressure from the backside, Zach, and it's going to be important for that offensive line to hold up and give Kyle a nice pocket here this afternoon.
Yeah, that was a bit overthrow. Did have 2 guys on him, and there was a lot of pressure coming at Beatty, so he kind of just had to launch it up. Fast facts about Kale Brazina. He's a 3-star recruit. He can vertical, which is pretty impressive for his position.
Yeah, about the same as yours, Zach. That is pretty impressive, so that's good.
Yeah, I wish.
Third down, impressive, so that's good.
Yeah, I wish.
Third down here for Normal Community now at about 15 yards to go. As Kyle Beatty now looks to take the snap, and he does. Hand off the middle, and they fumble the football. It's still loose on the turf, and I do believe Normal Community got back on it. I think the ball's still loose. And they are going to mark it now. I have no idea who has the football here, but it is going to be 4th down. And
he ended up getting back on top of it, but it got bobbled around a couple times. That isn't how you want to see that drive to end, but
to the Ironman defense.
Yeah, I think once they're able to open up that run game, they've done a great job of being able to pass it right there for that 57-yard touchdown. And then you also talked about how momentum was going to be a thing for the Ironmen, and if they couldn't get it there, is that a momentum shifter? But I think that kick was huge because Downers Grove was about at the 50.
I believe this is going to be against the Ironmen here.
Yeah, the flag came after the play, maybe an illegal push.
I do believe that was a personal foul against Normal Community, so battle was lost a couple of yards on the play. And this is what Normal Community has struggled with a little bit at times this year, has been the penalties and the personal foul penalties, especially in the Bradley Bourbonnais game. So hopefully they'll be able to take care of that here the rest of the way. Downers Grove North now, 1st and 10, the ball on the 30-yard line. First quarter here, 5:08 to go. From Karstens Field in Downers Grove, the Trojans lead 7-0. Lancer, that ball tipped up in the air. That was Caden Moss that made the play from the defensive end position. Caden missed a number of games this year, but got back for the playoffs, was able to get a hand on that one. And Zach, Normal Community's had some injuries on the defensive side of the football so far this year, but Caden was probably the most significant one, missing about 5 games late in the regular season.
Yeah, he missed, I think it was from week 5 to week 9, I want to say, and he might have left week 4.
Yeah, he got hurt in the Peoria game, so that was in the first half of the Peoria game. Returned for the pass that time that jumped off sides on the right side of that defensive line. So 5 yards going forward now for Downers Grove. So a couple penalties on this drive here, a 15-yard personal foul penalty, and on that one then an encroachment penalty against the Ironmen. 1st and 10 now, excuse me, a 2nd down and 5, ball on the 35-yard line for the Trojans here. Owen Lansu now will hand the ball off the left side. Another penalty flag. This might be holding coming up against Downers Grove North. That's kind of where that flag usually comes. Noah Battle got the carry right there, but I don't think this one's going any farther forward. This is going to be holding here against Downers Grove North. That is a spot foul, and so it looked like they threw that one right around the 37. So this is going to back the Trojans up inside their 30.
Yeah, I think I talked too soon when I was saying that penalties weren't much of a factor, because now we've had about 5 penalties in the last 2 minutes. Looking a lot like the Bradley Bourbonnais game.
Yeah, a little bit. A personal foul. And look at Tommy Davis now coming out on the defensive side, Zach. And Coach Strengwitz has played a lot of guys both ways here. A lot more here in the playoffs. We see Davis now on that backside. We saw Marquand Gary in there as well, playing a lot to be against Normal Community. I do believe, again, unless Downers Grove jumped off sides, the Ironmen did come across.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to go back and forth, and now they're moving up again. Downers Grove is. That looks like that's going to be offsides against Community.
It certainly is. So it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 8 now. So Downers Grove went backwards with a hold. Now they go forwards here with an encroachment. So Owen Battle slipped one tackle that time, and he'll be pulled down after a gain of about 3 yards. So bring up about a 3rd and 5 now for Downers Grove.
Yeah, Community's defense was huge last week in the second half as they held Glenbard East to 0. So it's been a bit of a slow start on the defensive side as the first drive for the Trojans ended in a touchdown. But we got that 3rd and 5 coming up now. The crowd is getting loud, and I think Community needs a stop here.
Yeah, they certainly do. It'd be nice to get off the field here if you're normal Community on 3rd down. And Ironmen giving up some penalty yardage on this drive, but that hold was costly for Downers Grove. Now Lansu will take the snap. Looks to the near side, looking deep that time. It's going to be overthrown right there. Looking for Owen Thulin, and the receiver there, the senior, did not catch up with that one for Downers Grove. So the Trojans will have to punt. And an interesting call there as Downers Grove, Zach, tries to go over the top against this normal Community defense.
Yeah, and for the listeners, just so you know, we are not mispronouncing Oliver and Owen. They are 2 brothers on the team. Sophomore wide receiver Oliver Thulin, and then the older senior Owen Thulin are both wide receivers. 2 of the 3 main targets for Owen Lansu.
Yeah, and they are really good receivers. Their best receiver is Charlie Cruz. He's number 11. We'll probably see him a little bit later on in the game. Now punting the ball away is Downers Grove, and Tommy Davis will let this one hit right around the 20, it looks like. It's going to roll inside the 20 and be down about the 18-yard line. That's where normal Community will get the football. So rough start for the defense. They give a touchdown on the first drive, a 57-yard touchdown pass from Owen Lansu to Oliver Thulin. That was the first score for Downers Grove of the game, but the defense able to stand up right there, stop the Trojans, and get the ball back now for the offense. Well, Zach, last time we saw normal Community 3 and out for the Ironmen, 8 positive yards on first down, but really couldn't do anything after that. We'll see if they can get something rolling here against the Trojans defense.
Yeah, and this is the first time this season the Community had gone 2 straight to start off the game. No scores. This is their 3rd possession on offense now. Hopefully they can get a score here. We got Tommy Davis in the backfield with Kyle Beatty.
Handoff now to Davis around the right side, trying to get to the corner. Tommy's got it, cut it back that time. A good job by Downers Grove North. And Zach, on that play, all you want to do is string it out. Make him go sideways as much as possible. It's exactly what the Trojans did. Tommy able to pick up a couple positive yards.
Yeah, Tommy just kept chopping his feet. Looked like he might have got 3 or 4 yards, I want to say. Decent play there. Kind of what the Ironmen will want to see on that first play.
Yeah, Tommy's already had 7 carries already in the contest for 24 yards for the senior tailback. We'll call it 2nd down and 8 now here for normal Community. Clock ticks down to 2:40 to go in the first quarter. Beatty now hands that, well, he's going to keep the football, looking for something on the right side, and just not a whole lot there, as it's going to bring up a 3rd down now here for the Ironmen. Maybe a gain of 1 for Beatty. Kyle, his 3rd carry of the contest, had that big 21-yard scamper on his first carry. That time it looked like Downers Grove did a nice job, Zach, staying home on the backside. Just not a lot of running room for Kyle.
I think Downers Grove definitely has looked at their scouting report, as Marquand Gary has not been allowed to get anything this game. And it looks like Owen Thulin's playing against Marquand Gary on defense. I think he's matched up against him.
Yeah, it's man-to-man coverage right now. As Beatty now back to pass. They set up the screen. It was a tight end screen to Dexter Niekamp, and Beatty threw it right over the top of the 6'4 senior, so an incompletion that time. And so far for the Ironmen, Beatty now 2 for 6 for 8 yards. And it's going to be a little more difficult with the ball where it's at right now. Normal Community going into the wind here in the first quarter. There is a breeze here at Karstens Field this afternoon, so maybe when they get the wind behind them, we'll see a little bit better impact of the passing game for normal Community.
And not only are they going against the wind, they're staring straight into the sun. We got about 2 minutes left in this first quarter before they switch.
Beatty's punt now is going to be almost taken by Thulin, but he'll let it go over his head. It's going to bounce inside the 35 and be down at the 31. So that's where normal Community, Downers Grove, we should go the Trojans. There was a big line still.
So he's fast, he's speedy, and really athletic.
Here's Downers Grove, and a pass over the middle. Couldn't hang on So Zach, 3-foot vertical, 4.6 you said in the, is that right? In the 40?
4.6 40-yard dash, which is almost identical to Marquand's 4.55. They're both the same height. Would expect Marquand to be going up against Charlie Cruz a lot today on defense and offense. Possibly if Charlie Cruz is going to be on that other side of the ball.
Yeah, you're probably going to see those as the lead. Owen Lansu, the sophomore quarterback, 4 completions in the game for 75 yards so far. Here's a handoff up the middle and nowhere to go for Noah Battle. Battle's going to be snowed under right at the line of scrimmage that time by the Normal Community defense. It's going to bring up a 3rd down now here for Downers Grove North. And Zach, I think Battle got back to the line of scrimmage, but he didn't get a whole lot more.
Yeah, Brady Augustin, Cooper Caraway, and AJ Montoya all had the tackle there. And yeah, it looks like it's going to be 3rd and 10 here, so no gain on the play. Just great job by the defensive line for the Ironmen.
Yeah, we'll see if Downers Grove North will run another play. I don't think they're going to. That's going to be the end of our first quarter. We are 1 quarter down from Karstens Field in Downers Grove. Our score, the Trojans of Downers Grove North 7. The Normal Community Ironmen nothing, as we have completed 1 quarter of play in the Class 7A state semifinals. Joel Swanson, Zach Knox Doyle with you here from Downers Grove. Running everything behind the scenes is Brad Bovenkirk. Appreciate his efforts all year long, bringing you Ironman football here on the Inkspot. We were with you from week 1, had all the home games this year. We were able to do a couple playoff games, and then excited to do the Class 7A semifinal here this afternoon. Well, our sponsors here on the Inkspot for 2023, one of our sponsors, Paul Davis Restoration. Paul Davis provides professional, residential, commercial, and emergency restoration services for disasters of all sizes. Paul Davis professionals are available 24/7 to clean up and repair damage to the residential and commercial property. Give them a call at 309-829-1199 today. Well, Zach, we're right in the middle of the stands here. The first time we've done this experience here this afternoon.
Yeah, it's a whole different environment, and I have to say I like it. I like hearing the fans behind us. They're really loud. They've been great today, and we got the whole stands filled up here.
Well, 3rd down, a significant 3rd down here for both sides. 3rd and 10 coming up now for Downers Grove. We'll see how much pressure the Ironmen can put on Owen Lancer, the quarterback. The ball tipped to the line of scrimmage. It's intercepted by Normal Community. The Ironmen have the ball. It'll be run out of bounds. Inside the 40-yard line. There is a penalty flag on the play. We'll see what the penalty flag is right here. That ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage. And that flag, I do believe, is sitting right at the 47-yard line. And we'll see what the call is from the official. Doesn't seem like it might have been on the return that time.
Yeah, it looked like Downers Grove, their offense came off. So I'm hoping that flag will just be after the interception.
Yeah, well, the Ironmen will take it, but certainly would have loved the field position right here.
Yeah.
Let's see if we get a call here from the official. They're trying to sort things out a little bit. It might have been a block in the back on the return that time.
And that was Blake Potts.
That was Blake Potts who picked that one off.
4th interception of the season.
Now that one's against Normal Community. Didn't quite pick up what the signal was against the Ironmen.
Yeah. Looks like Community should have it at about the 37, 38-yard line.
Yeah, thanks for that, Zach. Again, our vantage point is not great picking out yardage here and what yard line we're on, but it is going to be right around the 37-yard line here for Normal Community. So I didn't quite get a chance to see who got a hand on that football, but a significant play on the defensive side now for the Ironmen. Let's see if the offense can match it here and put the ball in the end zone. Handoff left side, nowhere to go for Tommy Davis, as again, Downers Grove North swallowed that one up quickly there for the Ironmen. Davis got about a yard on the play. And so far, we talked about the importance of the run game, especially between the tackles, and it has not developed so far for the Ironmen.
Yeah, and they've kept Tommy to about 3 yards per carry, which is pretty low for our star running back.
Yeah, Tommy's got 25 yards on 9 carries. Beatty back to pass, looking down the field for Hardiman. Let's see if there's a flag here, and there is not. Boy, there was a lot of contact there, and it looked like the defensive back for Downers Grove North never really got his head turned towards the football. It does go incomplete, though, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down now here for Normal Community.
And this is a similar play we saw week 11 versus Bradley Bourbonnais, where the defender never turned around and there was no flag thrown. Interesting that there wasn't a pass interference call there on senior wide receiver Owen Thulin. Obviously now he's on the defensive end.
Playing both sides of the ball for the Trojans. 11-16 for second quarter. 7-0 the lead now here for Downers Grove North, and an interception. It's going the other way. This is going to be a touchdown play in this ball game, as returning that one for Downers Grove on the play. We'll try to get a number here, and that one was Jimmy Janicki that time. The defensive end runs one back for Downers Grove, and it's a touchdown, a 39-yard pick six for the Trojans, and that might be a game changer right there as Downers Grove goes up 13-0.
Yeah, and that was just Kyle Beatty's 4th interception of the season, and I think it was the first time he's that the defense has scored off of it with that pick six there.
Yeah, it looked like they were trying to set up a screen that time, and boy, Kyle got hit pretty hard. Nowhere to
just threw that little 2-3 yard pass right into the Trojans' hands.
Yeah, probably one of those plays if Kyle had to rewrite that. Are in the game on 10 carries, so just 2.4 yards per carry for the senior tailback for Normal Community. They really have not been able to get Davis going so far.
And we saw Tommy facing some adversity week 11 versus Bradley Bourbonnais, and he was able to get that game-winning touchdown. So let's see if Tommy can turn it around here.
With a little counter play now to Kalen Taylor, and Taylor is going to pick up some positive yardage right there. Looked like a gain of about 4 or 5. Nice job that time on the counter, as a 3rd down and 6 now coming up. A 5-yard gain on the first attempt running the football for Kalen Taylor today.
And going back to that week 2 or playoff week 2 matchup against Bradley, the way the community did open up that running game a little bit was going to Kalen Taylor. So now that they've done that, you got to think that they can start looking to the passing game as well. Maybe Tommy Davis could get some more yards.
3rd and 6 now for Beatty. Kyle now will keep it himself, and he's going to be taken down short of the 1st down. It's going to bring up a 4th down. Maybe a gain of about 3 that time, and they're going to be 3 short. As again, after the first time that Kyle was able to pull that football for 21 yards, Downers Grove North has been all over the running game for Normal Community.
Yeah, in previous games, Kyle Beatty's little fakes, his quick feet kind of got him some touchdowns, rushing touchdowns, and we're able to bring success to Kyle Beatty's run game. He hasn't gotten much here today besides one about 21-yard rush.
Now the Ironmen now will punt the football away. Beatty now will kick it away. Ball's going to be over midfield and go out of bounds. And it'll roll right around the 40-yard line. The official keeps moving up the sideline here. We'll see exactly where he's going to mark it. I do believe right around the 42. And that's where Downers Grove North now will have the football. Well, the Normal Community defense, Zach, has been pretty solid the last couple of series. They've made it difficult on Noah Battle to be able to get any yardage. They're able to get off the field. Now trailing by 14. A little bit of desperation has set in here for the Ironmen to get a stop, get off the field, and try to get some offense going here in the first half.
Yeah, and the 14-0 score is a little deceiving, at least for Ironman defense, as they had only given up one of those touchdowns. That other touchdown was obviously that pick six thrown by Kyle Beatty. I think besides the first drive, the defense has done a great job as they stopped Downers Grove twice, having them kick it off to Community.
Now it's a 57-yard touchdown, and now Noah Battle around the outside. He'll be ushered out of bounds after a gain of about 6 yards that time by Noah Battle. They've done a nice job against this rushing attack, and we'll see if the offensive line for Downers Grove starts to wear on Normal Community defensively a little bit as the game goes along. Did a nice job so far. The big play offensively for Downers Grove came in the first quarter. Owen Lansu hit Oliver Thulin on a 57-yard touchdown, and that was the only score that we've had so far offensively here in the contest. Downers Grove added a defensive touchdown here in quarter number 2. 9:08 to go, second quarter, 14-0. Downers Grove North has the lead over Normal Community. Thanks for joining us on the Inkspot Class 7A State Semifinals. Handoff now around the left side and going to be ushered out of bounds is Noah Battle again. I do believe Battle was knocked out about a yard short of the first down marker, so call it a gain of 3. It'll bring up 3rd down and 1 now here for the Trojans, and Noah Battle now up to 38 yards on 10 carries in the first half.
Yeah, and I'm seeing a lot of positives from Noah Battle's run game. He has size, so he's able to kind of push some of Community's smaller defenders around, and he also has a lot of speed to go along with that size. Kind of NFL comparison of possibly like Derrick Henry type player, as we know that you can't see the guy out here today.
That's an I formation now here by Downers Grove. You don't see much I formation these days. Got a fullback out there for the Trojans on 3rd down and 1, and they hand it to the fullback up the middle, and I do believe he'll have enough for the 1st down. We'll try to pick up a number right there for Downers Grove.
Yeah, they got the 1st down on that play as they're moving the chains here.
And the fullback hitting it right off the field. You get one play sometimes as a fullback, Zach. That's about it, and you're heading down to the sideline then. We'll try to get a name of that young man here for you in just a second. That was number 34 for Downers Grove that had the carry right there. And that was Jake Gregorio for the Trojans, his first carry of the contest, and we'll give Jake about 2 yards on the carry. 1st and 10 now. Downers Grove, Lansu back to pass. It's knocked against Glenn Bardies. We'll see if we have the 10-yard line here.
I think that was sophomore Oliver Thulin on the reception there. We've seen a combo from Cruz and the Thulin brothers on the receptions here tonight, as Owen Lansu does not shy away from going to one receiver. He's got, what, 6 completions to 3 different receivers?
Yeah, he's thrown it to a number of different guys. The Thulins have been catching the football, Cruz as well, as Lansu has 97 yards passing. A few moments ago was the first time we saw Lansu take off with the football and run the football for about 5 yards on the scamper. But so far, for the sophomore quarterback, 6 completions in the contest, 97 yards, and done a nice job keeping this Normal Community defense on their heels here so far in this 1st half.
Yeah, we've seen a combination of things from, as you just mentioned, which is what teams have been scared of Kyle Beatty doing all season. And like I said, Downers Grove did remind me a lot of this Community squad. They just have so many weapons.
1st and goal from the 10-yard line here for Downers Grove, looking for their 2nd offensive touchdown. Noah Battle around the side. Battle looking to turn the corner, and he'll be taken down at right around the 5-yard line as Blake Potts was able to get in there and make the stop that time for Normal Community. It's still a nice gain that time for Noah Battle.
Great tackle there from Blake Potts, though, because without that ferocious tackle, I mean, that's a touchdown there for Downers Grove. I think he's done a great job today, as he had that interception as well, and he also stopped the last play as well.
Ball on the 5-yard line here now for Downers Grove North, looking to go up 3 scores here in the 2nd quarter. Clock ticks down to 5:20 now to go here in quarter number 2. As the Trojans look to take control of the game, as Jake Gregorio is back in the contest now at that fullback position, and Downers Grove North now will take a timeout. So the Trojans know how important this possession is right here. Try to punch it in and absolutely take control of this contest. So a little bit more of a methodical drive here by Downers Grove. We saw them with the 57-yard touchdown pass in the 1st quarter. A little bit more of a grinded out here drive, get that ground game going, and kind of mix in some short passes as well.
Yeah, they haven't gone for any deep shots in this drive. It's just been a lot on the rushing game, and Community's fans are getting loud here. I think they need this, and this is a big defensive drive for the Ironmen here. They need a stop.
I'm trying to pick out exactly where that football is. The scoreboard says 5-yard line, so that's what we're going to call it here. Tough angle for us to see exactly where Downers Grove North is, but 2nd and goal from the 5. And if the Ironmen do give up a touchdown here, it's going to be a pretty tough hill to climb this afternoon, especially against a Downers Grove defense that has been tough to be able to move the ball on so far in the 1st half.
Yeah, we haven't been down by more than 2 touchdowns this season, as that was just last week. We did come back and win by 17, so the Ironmen are not afraid of big deficits.
Battle now off the left side, and did he find the end zone? And no signal from the official, he did. So Noah Battle is in for the touchdown from 5 yards out. And that is the 2nd offensive score for Downers Grove North here on the afternoon. They have a defensive score as well. And it's 20-0 now in favor of the Trojans. And that was an impressive drive that time by Downers Grove North. They did a great job taking the ball right down the field and controlling the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and you can see that Downers Grove, obviously they're up 21-0, so they have, or 20-0, so they have control of this game. But just kind of the tempo of that drive, just taking their time, they seem to be pretty confident.
Extra point is up, and did he slip that through the upright? He did. That one pushed just a little bit, but found enough of the right side to be able to knock in the extra point. And with 5:11 to go here in the second quarter, Downers Grove has a 21-0 lead. Well, the question now, Zach, I think on this side for the Ironmen fans and also for the football team is how do you move the ball here against this Downers Grove North defense, as they have really taken Marquand Gary out of the game here so far.
Yeah, I would think that maybe going to Kalen Taylor for a little bit wouldn't be a bad idea, because that's what they did against Bradley or Bourbonnais, and that worked pretty well. If you go to Kalen, then you can go to Tommy, and then you can get the passing game opened up to Marquand Gary, Caden Hardiman, Ivo Austin, guys like that. We haven't seen much from the passing game at all. What is it, 1 or 2 completions from Kyle Beatty today?
Yeah, Kyle's got 2 completions so far for 8 yards and an interception. Tommy Davis has 11 carries for 24 yards. Kalen Taylor 1 carry for 5. And Kyle Beatty has 4 carries for 27. That is the offense right now for Normal Community. 65 total yards for the Ironmen in the first half. And that has really been, a lot of that has been the Downers Grove North defense. I'm not sure the Ironmen have seen a defense like this so far this year. Tommy Davis now will bring out the kick, and he'll be knocked out of bounds right around the 20-yard line.
Need to change up.
That's been tough here against this Downers Grove North defense here so far.
A 3rd and 11 for Community.
For the Ironmen on that outplay to Cole Morstatter. Cole made a nice catch but got hit right away. Gain of about 6 yards on the play, but the Ironmen are going to have to punt the football away. Downers Grove North defense stepping up big time right there. Now, Zach, you're maybe in danger of going even farther down, as it looks like the Trojans are going to get pretty good field position out of this.
And I mentioned plenty of time being in favor for the Iron at the start of that drive, but now there's still just under 4 minutes to go. Downers Grove, I think, has all their timeouts. I'm sure they're looking for another score.
Beatty now, it's a low line drive kick, and for Downers Grove just trying to get out of the way of that one. It's going to roll at right around the 40-yard line, inside the 40, at right around the 37-yard line, and that's where Downers Grove North will have the football. Last time we saw the Trojans on the field, boy, the methodical drive, they marched it right down. Owen Lansu using his arm and his feet a little bit, and it was a lot of Noah Battle. As Battle so far in the contest, 13 carries, 63 yards now for the tailback for Downers Grove North. 3:18 to go before halftime. Thanks for joining us on the Inkspot 7A semifinals. Wish we had better news for you here so far, but the Ironmen trail 21-0 to Downers Grove North, and the Trojans have the football back once again. Crowd here on the visitors' side of Downers Grove North High School trying to make some noise and get a rally going for Normal Community today. Battle off that left side, picking his way up the field here, and he'll be taken down after a gain of about 8 yards. But you can see, Zach, just the difference in the running room for the tailbacks, as Battle has some room there, can kind of set up his blocks, cut off those blockers. That means there are running lanes for Downers Grove North in the first half. We just haven't seen a lot of that for the Ironmen in half number 1.
Yeah, and you have to give credit to that offensive line. All his blockers are doing a great job there. I saw a lot of great blocks from Community. Now Downers Grove is setting up here, and Owen Lansu drops back. He throws it about 5 yards. It's a gain of nearly 20 yards on the play and a first down for the Trojans.
And a first down there to Lansu. A nice throw. We'll call it a gain of about 17 yards that time for the sophomore quarterback. He goes over 100 yards passing. And Zach, nice job. Your first play-by-play of the season right there. A nice job. Sounded natural right there. Too bad the play didn't work out quite like we wanted it to. But a first down here for Downers Grove.
Yeah, Lansu's doing a great job of finding many targets tonight. Or not tonight, it's a day game. Just the second day game for the Ironmen this year.
And Downers Grove again in Normal Community territory at the Ironman 40-yard line, already leading 21-0. Lansu now back to pass downfield again, almost picked off that time by the Ironmen, but Blake Potts sliding over that time, an incompletion for Downers Grove. And it's going to bring up a second down and 10.
I almost thought that was a completion there, as the wide receiver, Oliver Tholen, the sophomore, did come down with it. He was just out of bounds. It's just a great catch by him. Obviously didn't work out, but just credit to the talent from this team. They just have so many weapons.
Second down and 10. Yeah, the Thulins have both had catches so far today. Oliver's got the big one. That was the 57-yard touchdown pass in that first quarter. 2:01 to go here before halftime. Lansing back to pass, stepping up, looking downfield, got a man wide open, touchdown. Touchdown, Charles Cruz has it right there for Downers Grove North. It's a 40-yard pitching catch for the score, and another touchdown for Downers Grove. Cruz has his third catch of the day, 3 catches for 67. 164 yards now passing for Owen Lansu on the afternoon, and Downers Grove North leads 27-0 over Normal Community, and certainly a coverage that didn't quite go how the Ironmen wanted right there, Zach.
No, and Downers Grove just kind of kept progressing and pushing the Ironmen back and back. Started that drive with a run, then a 17-yard pass, and that long touchdown pass right there.
The extra point is up. Might have missed that one right there. Now we got that one through the right upright as well, and the kick is good for Downers Grove North. Now, it certainly hasn't been the the finish of the half here that Normal Community wanted. We're trying to rally back in this contest, down 14-0, but Downers Grove has put a couple touchdowns on the board to take that lead and double it up. 28-0 now, Downers Grove North. And Zach, we heard about how good this football team was, the difficult competition playing here in the suburbs, and we're certainly seeing that here this afternoon.
Yeah, this team just looks really well prepared, and like I've been saying all night, or all day, man, I keep doing that. Their weapons have been huge. I've just seen a lot of great things from them. They haven't made very many mistakes. There was that one interception, but they just did a great job of getting back, and then they ended up getting an interception of their own, a pick 6 there. So I think when they make mistakes, they do a good job of correcting them, and they've just kept their emotions in check all game.
Yeah, Downers Grove now 242 yards of total offense here so far in this first half. For Normal Community, just 69 yards of offense in half number 1. A lot of that came on the first drive. The Ironmen have had a number of 3 and outs here now in a row and have just had a difficult time getting things rolling. Now here comes Downers Grove kicking that football off again. Beautiful, beautiful fall afternoon here from Karstens Field in Downers Grove. Thanks for joining us here on the Inkspot as Tommy Davis will return this kick. And Tommy will be taken down inside the 20 again, and that's where Normal Community will start with the football. So we've seen so far, obviously, a dominant Downers Grove North defense, an offense that's been able to move the football, but Zach, also special teams for Downers Grove. They have really won the field position game here so far in the first half.
Yeah, we've really seen the same thing for about the last 3 drives. Lots of 3 and outs, trying to give it to Tommy Davis, nothing much there. And then like you mentioned, on these kickoffs, they're giving it to Tommy, and it's either he's taking it at the end zone and not running it, or he tries to run it and get stopped at about the 20-17, right around there.
Yeah, we really haven't seen a team that's been able to really take away Marquand Gary so far this year, and that certainly has happened so far in this contest. Marquand's got 1 catch for 1 yard here so far in this first half, and I don't even see Marquand on the field right now. We got Caden Hardiman out there, Ivo Austin as well. So Cole Morstatter is on the field here now for Normal Community.
Yeah, there's only been 1 game this year where Marquand did not have a touchdown, and that was due to weather. It was really windy and just a really wet, rainy day.
A.J. Montoya is now in the game at running back. Montoya off the left side, trying to turn the corner. He's going to be cut down that time. Gain of a couple yards that time. So Montoya now comes in the game. And A.J.'s got a lot of experience at the running back position at the lower levels. Haven't seen a lot of him so far this year at the tailback spot, but going to have to change something up here, Zach, to maybe produce some positive results.
Yeah, that was junior defensive tackle there, A.J. Montoya, that has also, we've
looking